Happy Saturday. Interesting topic today. We are talking about grandparents and their role in the lives of their children, grown children, and grandchildren. So this could get interesting, so buckle up. I am a grandma. I'm a mom, of course, but I am a grandma. And my role is to not only spoil just a little bit my granddaughter, within reason, but my role, more than anything, is to support my son and daughter-in-law in their decisions, in their personal decisions, as a couple, and then in their decisions as parents with my granddaughter. Do not, I cannot stress this enough, do not usurp their power as parents. I see this so often. Lately, I have seen it a lot. Everything kind of runs in cycles. In the last few weeks, I've seen a lot of grandparent issues. Maybe it's because we're slowly approaching summer and grandparents are wanting to take, the grandkids on trips and have them for a week or two. And that's fine. That's great. But slow your roll and stay in your lane. Bottom line. If the parents give you guidelines, rules regarding their child, they don't want the child to have processed sugars, processed foods. There's a reason behind that, and it affects the child's way of thinking. The child could have very mild ADD, ADHD. It could affect the child's allergies, eczema, psoriasis, any number of things. But don't second guess. And if they say we don't want them to have XYZ, don't say why. They decided it, that's enough. Respect it. You probably didn't want people doing that to you. Don't do it to them. They are the parent. Let them be the parent. If they say they don't want their child watching certain types of TV shows, respect it. That's their call. And do not be sneaky and say, well, I would let you watch it, but your mama or daddy said no. Come on, don't be manipulative. Don't do that. Just say, nope, that's a no-no, and leave it at that. If they don't want the child to wear certain things, respect it. If there is, now this is big, if they have a different religion than you do, respect their religion. Through the years, I have seen grandparents, and I know the grandparent has the best of intentions, but don't do it. The parents are a different religion than the grandparent, which is fine, but the grandparent will go have this child baptized behind the family's back, behind the mom and dad's back. And while a lot of people will say, well, you have to do that, no, you don't, because that's up to the parent. That's up to the mom and dad. And the grandparent may keep their mouth shut. It will come out. They're going to run into somebody that knows about this, and it's going to come out. And in the past, 4 years, I've seen this happen 3 times. It fractured the family, and they completely cut the grandparent out of their life because of this. So don't do it. Don't take the child for a haircut or a piercing or to have their hair dyed, colored, whatever. Don't do it without having it approved by the parent. They are the parent. You're not. If for some reason you have temporary custody, they're overseas, they're in rehab, whatever, that's fine, but they're still the parent. That doesn't give you carte blanche to just do whatever the hell you want to do. Respect them as the parent. Always remind the child, just because mom or dad isn't here right now, they're still the parent. I'm helping out while they're away. Maybe they're deployed, whatever. Be supportive to your kids, not just your grandkids. Be supportive to your kids. Don't go behind their back and do things. Don't ever talk to the child and say, well, this is just our little secret. We're not going to tell. Don't do that. Don't put the child in that position. Don't compromise that child like that. That's not nice. Don't do that. You can still have a wonderful relationship with your grandkids by respecting the parents. It will go so much smoother if everybody's on the same page. If you don't believe in something that the parents are doing or a decision that they made, a punishment or whatever, talk to them privately away from the child and say, maybe you're being a little hard. Are you being reasonable? Have you heard all the facts? But their decision is, that's the law of the land, not yours. Do not override that. Don't say, well, at my house, we do things different. No. At your house, those same rules should carry over and apply at grandma's house or grandpa's house. Absolutely, positively. Be a united front. Don't have the kid waffling back and forth, vacillating, trying to manipulate, because the child will learn to play everybody against one another. And you don't want that. And it's a learned behavior. And I wonder where they're learning that. Is it from mom and dad who are a united front? Or is it from the grandparent who's causing a divide in the family, who's causing a fracture for manipulation and control? And I have seen this firsthand. I went through this when my son was growing up. My parents adored him. But my rules, when grandma and grandpa were around, my rules meant nothing. It meant nothing. It was like dolphin talk. And that that was a big problem. A huge problem from the time he was born until my parents passed. That was always an issue. So please, please be respectful of the parent. Know your role. When they're pregnant, talk to them before the baby's born about your role in the child's life. Are you going to babysit? Are you going to be allowed to have the child, during the summer? Maybe they just kind of want to wait and see how things go. That's fine. It's their call. It's their child. Let them be their own family. Now, your family as well, but they are a nuclear family. If you live in the same home, I don't care. Mom and dad have the say over the child, not you. Their child. And you might say, my house, my rules. Do you want them to move out? Do you want them to stay close so you can enjoy every moment seeing this child grow up? Then be a team player. If, God forbid, the parents are toxic, then you have to do what you have to do. But I am talking if they are dangerous people, if they're using hard drugs, if they're violent, things like that. If they're prostituting, if they're involved in criminal activity, of course you have to protect the child. Absolutely. But those are kind of rare circumstances. Support the parents. Make sure, if you're babysitting, make sure that child's homework is done and you don't do it for the child. I've seen it happen. No. The teachers know. So be supportive. Be a team player. If you're babysitting, observe those bedtimes. Observe what they want the child to wear to school. Don't dress the child. If you're babysitting because they have to go out of town for a funeral and you're watching the kids for a couple of days, don't dress the child how you think looks cute, because the kid could be made fun of at school. It might be against the rules at school. Be a team player. Follow the guidelines, follow the rules. You can still enjoy being a grandparent. I do, but I totally and completely respect my son and daughter-in-law. Absolutely. And I will back them 1,000% on every decision that they make, because they're making wise decisions in the best interest of my granddaughter, who I cherish. Be a team player.